Hello, viewers. Welcome to Divine Revelation. My name is David, and I share powerful stories of people who have seen the other side, people who have died, entered a coma, or had near-death experiences. If you enjoy these videos, please consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you won't miss our new videos. Your support helps us grow, and we truly appreciate it.
My name is Samuel Rodriguez, and the day that everything changed for me down to the marrow of my soul was November 12th, 2017. I was working as a mechanic in a small shop just outside of Richmond, Virginia. That day was like any other. Nothing unusual or out of place. I kissed my wife Maria goodbye in the morning, gave a half-asleep wave to my teenage son, Alex, and rolled out the driveway with my thermos and toolbox in the back seat. I had no idea that before the sun would set, I'd be clinically dead on a cold metal gurney, staring into the eyes of Jesus Christ himself. What happened to me still shakes me to the core every time I talk about it. I didn't fall into a tunnel of light. I didn't drift peacefully into some abstract vision. One moment, I was here, and then something snapped like a wire being cut inside me, and the next moment I was somewhere else. I was standing but not with feet. I was seeing but not with eyes. I felt more awake than I'd ever felt in my life. All the pain from the heart attack, the tightness in my chest, the chaos of the shop floor when I collapsed, the paramedics yelling my name, it all fell away like ash in the wind. I found myself in the presence of a light so powerful it silenced every doubt, every fear, every question I had ever held in my heart. I knew instantly, without anyone having to say a word, that I was standing in front of Jesus. Not the Sunday school image, not a vague warmth or a hopeful guess. Jesus, a real living, present being, more radiant than the sun, but gentle-like. A whisper in the night, his presence pressed into every fiber of what I now understood to be my spirit. There were no shadows, no distance between us, but also no casualness. I felt completely known. Every moment of my life unfolded before him like pages in a book. But I didn't feel shame. I felt weight, the kind of holy weight that makes you realize you've been taking every breath of your life for granted. He looked at me with eyes that saw right through me, but didn't burn me. They healed me. He didn't begin with, "Why are you here?" or "What have you done?" He began with something that stopped me in my tracks, my prayers. He brought them up as if they were treasure. He said he had heard me every single time, even the ones whispered under my breath on the garage floor. The ones I mumbled when I was too tired to stand. The ones I said laying flat on my back staring at the ceiling in total exhaustion. Then without judgment, without accusation, he said, "Let me show you something." What I saw next is hard to describe. It wasn't a vision like on a screen. It was as if I was inside the very meaning of it. I relived every time I prayed while lying down. Every night where I closed my eyes and whispered to him with sincerity, but no strength. And Jesus showed me that while he had received every word with love, there was something missing. Not because he was offended, not because he's distant or hard to please, but because when I prayed that way repeatedly, night after night, I had unknowingly trained my spirit to drift. He showed me how the body and the soul are linked in ways we rarely understand. How posture isn't just a physical gesture, it's a spiritual declaration. He said, "Samuel, when you stand or kneel to pray, your heart stands up too. Your spirit awakens. Your mind clears. But when you make lying down your altar, over time, you begin to blur the line between reverence and relaxation." I saw it. I saw how my prayers had slowly become less attentive. How my spirit had started to associate prayer with sleep, not with surrender. He wasn't angry, far from it. He was warning me, teaching me, showing me that reverence wasn't about ritual. It was about engagement. The way a soldier stands before a general. The way a child rises when their father enters the room. Not because they fear him, but because they love and honor him. He said that millions of people pray from a place of half-awareness. That they think he's not answering when really they're too numb to notice he already has. He told me, "I'm not counting bodies. I'm listening for hearts, but hearts follow posture, and too many hearts have fallen asleep." Those words hit me like thunder in my soul because I knew he was right. I thought I was being humble by praying from my bed, but what I'd really done was grow comfortable, and spiritual comfort is the beginning of spiritual drift. I had let my posture betray my passion. Then came the moment that still makes me weep when I remember it. Jesus stepped closer, and I felt something rush through me that I don't even know how to explain. It was like a wave of understanding, a complete downloading of love and grief and hope all at once. He showed me what my prayers looked like to him. Not just the words, but the sound of my desperation, the echo of my sincerity, the fragrance of my heart in those moments when I meant every word, he said. I kept them all. I saw jars. Yes, literal jars like in the book of Revelation. Each one filled with light. He said, "These are your prayers." I never lost a single one. I broke. I sobbed. Not because I was guilty, but because I had no idea how much he had been listening. I realized that prayer isn't about technique. It's about presence. But he wanted me to know, wanted the world to know that we must not let our casualness become our norm. That our generation has traded posture for convenience. That we've mistaken ease for access. Yes, he welcomes us wherever we are. Yes, he hears the prison cell and the hospital bed and the whisper in the night. But when we choose to always approach him in the most relaxed, disengaged position, we begin to drift. Our spirit stops standing at attention. We lose the alertness of the soul. And in a world like this, with temptation and deception and darkness pressing in from every side, we cannot afford to pray as if we are asleep. Jesus told me that too many believers pray lying down, not because they're too weak to stand, but because they've grown too familiar to kneel. That hit me like a hammer to the chest. He wasn't condemning. He was pleading through me. He said, "You must go back and tell them. They don't know what they're doing. They're fading." That's when I felt the pull, the weight of earth grabbing at me again, the light beginning to fade. I didn't want to come back. I begged him. I said, "Please, Lord, let me stay." But he touched me with his presence and said, "Your work isn't done. What you've seen must be told. What you've heard must be shouted." The next thing I knew, I gasped awake. In a hospital bed with a nurse screaming for a doctor and a beeping machine going wild beside me. I was back, but I wasn't the same. I didn't just wake up physically. I woke up spiritually. That my wife cried when she saw me awake, but I couldn't even speak at first. I was still hearing his voice, still feeling the fire in my bones. When I could finally talk, I didn't talk about the pain or the heart monitor or the doctors. I told her everything right there in the room through tears, through choking sobs. I told her about Jesus, about the prayers, about the posture, and she wept with me. Jesus isn't looking for perfect people. He's looking for present ones, awake ones, engaged ones. If you show up with reverence, he'll meet you every time. That's his promise. That's what he showed me. That's what I came back to tell. Don't ignore the stirring in your spirit right now. That's not emotion. That's invitation. Jesus is near. He's waiting. And he wants all of you, awake, aware, and alive.